Before we begin, take a second and think about this. Are you chasing success to be seen or to truly see? If you're here for real growth, deeper perspective, and motivation that actually changes how you think, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, because every video on this channel is designed to challenge your mindset, sharpen your vision, and push you to rise for the right reasons. Now let's get into it. Don't climb the mountain for the world to see you. Climb the mountain to see the world. At first, it sounds simple, almost poetic. But if you really think about it, it challenges one of the biggest habits of our time, the need to be seen. We live in a culture that rewards visibility. Social media, status, recognition. They all push us toward one question. How do I look to others? But that quote asks a different question. What do I see when I rise? Because there's a difference between achievement for attention and achievement for understanding. History quietly supports this idea. When Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay first reached the summit of Mount Everest in 1953, it wasn't just about planting a flag or proving dominance. Hillary later spoke about the humility of the climb, how standing at the top didn't make him feel bigger, but made the world feel vast, complex, and deeply interconnected. That's what real elevation does. It expands perspective. Psychology even backs this up. Studies in intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, particularly the work of Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, show that people driven by internal goals, growth, curiosity, meaning, experience deeper satisfaction than those driven purely by external validation, like praise or status. In other words, climbing to be seen might get you attention, but climbing to see gives you understanding. And that applies far beyond mountains. You don't pursue education just to impress people with a degree. You pursue it to see the world differently. You don't build a career just for titles. You build it to gain insight, to solve problems, to contribute. You don't grow as a person so others admire you. You grow so you can understand yourself and others more deeply, because when your goal is only to be seen, your vision narrows. You start performing instead of learning, competing instead of growing, proving instead of discovering. But when your goal is to see, everything changes. You become curious. You listen more. You notice things others miss. And ironically, that's often when recognition comes, not because you chased it, but because you earned it as a byproduct of depth. So if you're climbing, in your career, your studies, your personal life, ask yourself honestly, am I doing this to be noticed or to gain a better view? Because one path leads to pressure. The other leads to perspective. And in the end, the people who truly rise aren't the ones standing at the top asking, "Who's looking at me?" They're the ones standing there quietly, thinking, "Now I can finally see."